Hi, I'm Dr. Andy Nevala, Coordinator of Jazz Studies at Jacksonville State University, and this is my piano story. I started when I was a kid. When I was in church, I was just attracted to whoever was playing the piano. I just wanted to watch how the keys were pressed. Probably when I was 7 years old. And then I started taking lessons when I was 9 or 10. Just casual lessons, half an hour a week. John Thompson, right, books 1 through 4. And then we moved a lot, and I moved, and then in 8th grade I won a talent show on piano, playing Love Theme from St. Elmo's Fire. And so that's when I knew, I was like, oh, maybe I can do this. And I played in high school for the choirs. I was also a trumpet player. And I went to college at Boise State as a trumpet major, music education. But I still did piano lessons secondary. And I was in the marching band, and up there it's cold and snowy. And we had to march one year, and 4 of the games we had to wear parkas, and our lips hurt. And I was taking piano lessons from this great jazz piano player that was really steering me on the right path. And that's when I made the switch to, I think I'm just going to do piano because it's warm inside. And I started to get some gigs, and I was starting to have some success in my undergrad. And then, I attended a couple summer workshops. One was at the Eastman School of Music, jazz piano, one summer. And that's when I really figured out, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So then I focused on that and was playing a lot, and then I decided to go to a good grad school for my master's degree in jazz, University of Northern Colorado. They have a huge jazz program. And so I packed up and moved, and it took me 3 years to get my master's degree, and I was able to study with Art Landy in Boulder, Colorado, who's a famous jazz pianist. And so I was really starting to have success and playing tons of gigs, jazz gigs, contemporary Christian gigs, salsa gigs, Latin gigs with African musicians, traditional music, and just having a great time. And then I decided to start my doctorate at University of Colorado Boulder because they had a pianist, Chip Stevens, who had played in the Woody Herman Band and with Maynard Ferguson, and he won a Grammy with Arturo Sandoval, and had done all these things. And he was a great pianist and a super hit guy. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to school and study with him. So that's when I started my performance degree in jazz piano. And then in the middle of my second year of my doctorate, he got a phone call from the Glenn Miller Orchestra. They needed a piano player. And it was in my lesson, and I was hired on the spot on a phone call just off his recommendation. So then I toured with them for the next 2 years. And we went all over the U.S., and Japan, and Canada. And it was a great experience playing that old traditional swing jazz. And I finally had enough of that and was like, I need to finish my degree. Paid a lot of money for it at that point. And I went back and finished my degree and just was playing music and recording and touring with musicians from Colorado all over. I was playing with a guitar player named Eddie Turner, and we would go to Europe for a month at a time, just having a great time. I did all my recitals for my doctoral degree. One was all classical, so I can do the classical stuff. It's not my favorite thing, and I have to work hard at it. But I can read those little notes on the paper, but I prefer to make up my own parts. So that's why I'm doing the jazz thing. And then I got my first job in 2008 at California State University, Stanislaus, out in California, close to San Francisco, running a jazz studies program. So I moved out there, and I was playing gigs with the San Francisco musicians. It was great. I consider it the West Coast, New York. I was playing with people from all over the world, different countries. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And then the job at Jacksonville State opened, and boom, next thing I know, I've been in Alabama 10 years. And having a great time, play a lot in Atlanta, in some salsa bands and jazz gigs out there. Was playing in Birmingham a little bit. Well, now that COVID has shut us all down, not really doing too much except we're doing videos. All the groups I'm playing in are doing those virtual video, so there's a lot out there now. And I've been able to still keep in touch with my friends, and we're putting out albums about once a year with a different group or so, and so still being active doing that. And I never thought that that playing the piano would take me this far. Who would have known these 88 keys would take me around the world? So that's my piano story.